Greetings from Bloomington, Illinois. My wife and I moved here in 2014 after living nearly 20 years in Burlington, Iowa. We moved here because our son and our daughter were living here, and we needed to be a little closer to them. I'm your professor for this upcoming class, Ministry Leadership and Staff Relationships. I am very excited about this class and the materials and concepts that we're going to cover. I have a strong emphasis on character throughout the class. They're really excellent readings that we will be covering, some very stimulating discussion boards. It's a great time to learn in the next 2 months much about what it means to be a Christ-following leader in a God-fearing way. They are applicable whether you're the volunteer or a paid staff member. And a lot of important principles are going to be covered. But let me tell you a little bit about myself. I'm a graduate of Moody Bible Institute, a graduate of Dallas Theological Seminary, and I earned my doctorate at Trinity Evangelical Divinity School. I've also taken a number of additional courses because I believe that need to continually enrich my skills and learning. That's a lesson my dad and mom taught me when I was a kid, that learning is a lifelong responsibility. I remember my dad taking an adult education class when he was in his 40s, maybe early 50s. But he wanted to learn how to be a better farmer and to be able to do things well. And so he studied lifelong. My parents were very committed followers of Christ. Deep, deep, deep commitment. And loved the Lord. They were the primary lay couple in planting a church out in the middle of nowhere in 1940. And that church continues to thrive today. They also had a deep appreciation for Moody Bible Institute, and that influenced the three of their kids. My sister, who is the oldest, is a graduate of Moody Bible Institute. At a time worked as a counselor at Moody. My brother and his wife are graduates of Moody. Of course, I am, as well as my wife. Our three children are all graduates of Moody, and two of their spouses are graduates of Moody. Two of our grandson and his wife are graduates of Moody and now serving as missionaries in Spain. We have another grandson who is a student at Moody right now, and we have a couple other grandchildren who've taken Moody online courses. So we have deep roots at Moody, and thank God for its ministry. As a 19-year-old student, I did a favor for a pastor friend. He asked me to fill the pulpit at a church that had just voted out a mainline denomination. The outcome was they called me to be their pastor. And so for my last 2 years at Moody, I traveled every Friday afternoon down to Galesburg, Illinois, about 200 miles on the train, where I've had my car parked. I did pastoral ministry on the weekend, and 2 o'clock Monday morning, I boarded the train and got back to Chicago about 6, just in time to shower, eat breakfast, go to a missions leadership meeting, and be in class. So I had an exciting 2 years of doing that, and an interesting time to develop a relationship with a peer at Moody. A week after I graduated from Moody, Judy and I married, and we celebrated 55 years of marriage last summer. And we have ministered together through all these years. We love ministering together. Sometimes she's in charge, sometimes I'm in charge, but we work together just wonderfully. We have 3 children. Our oldest son, Andrew, lives down the street from us, 4 houses. He and his wife have 5 biological children and 6 adopted children. Most of them are gone from home now, but their ages range from 8 to 30. Uh, the adopted children each have serious emotional, psychological issues related to their mother's abuse of alcohol and drugs through the years. A very sad situation that the children suffer from that. Our middle son, Stephen, is in the Army. He joined the Army at age 39, and his early years of responsibility were going to law school at William and Mary in Williamsburg, Virginia, where he graduated with his jurisprudence degree and is now stationed at Fort Campbell, Kentucky, or Tennessee. The base is in both states, or on the state line. I could tell you funny stories about that. But anyway, it impacts his work as a lawyer. They have 10 biological children and a great family. And then our daughter, our youngest, Esther, and her husband live here in Bloomington. They have 5 children. Her husband works as a security officer at the maximum security prison up in Pontiac, which is about 30 miles from here. So that's 26 grandchildren, and we currently have 8 grandchildren. Another one is going to be born, great-grandchildren, and we're shortly going to have a 9th, and this summer we'll have the 10th. So that's a little bit about our family. Judy and I have ministered in Herman, Illinois, in Dallas, Texas, in Pontiac, Illinois, in Lindale, Texas, in McHenry, Illinois, and in Burlington, Iowa. I've been a solo pastor. I've also been a leader of a staff of 15 people. So I have a diverse pastoral kind of setting. I have also served in a village as well as in a metropolitan area and in other cities in between. In 2008, we joined an organization called Interim Pastor Ministries. We really appreciate that organization, and I served a number of years as an intentional interim pastor specialist dealing with high conflict kind of settings in Garner, Iowa, Williston, North Dakota, Derby, Vermont, and Minonka, Illinois. My goal in helping in that interim situation is to help the leadership clarify and commit to desiring to do what Jesus wants them to do. Why does he want their church to exist today, this month, this coming decade? It's really a challenging ministry, but it's an exciting ministry also. I love to equip people. My band license says it all, equipper, in the spirit of Ephesians 4:12, equipping the saints for the work of ministry. I love how God has used me to help people learn leadership and grow in their faith. I've already posted some announcements, very important announcements, in the course. I trust that you will read them. A couple of them are kind of long, but they are very important things. If I talk to you, I assume you heard what I said. But if you didn't read it or you didn't listen to the video, we have a barrier. So I really urge you and request that you listen to those. Normally on Monday and Friday, you'll have an early morning video from me highlighting where we're going on Monday and just encouraging you a bit on Friday. I'm eagerly looking forward to getting to know you. I welcome former students as well as new students. We're going to have a good time together in the next 8 weeks. I want to get to know you, so you'll see an announcement, let's get acquainted. And I want to understand where you're serving and some of those facts of life. God bless you.